These people don't give a shit.
Who's giving them the business? The business.
Oh, the man is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He got it. Goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. It's going to win the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone. It's a touchdown. And the Gators have won the game.
50 to the 40. Herbert Whitfield to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, FSU.
Play him in, Justin. Yeah. We're live from beautiful and sunny San Diego, California. Oh, the AC just cut on as soon as we start recording.
That's funny.
That's fine. That's
right
fine.
at 6. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So, wait, hang on. I want to make sure our audio is right on here because it might be coming from somewhere else. Anyway, we're here to bring you Week 8 picks and locks and go over some Week 7 stuff. Big week in college football. As you know, our other co-host Davis is getting married this week. That's why me and Justin are here in California. Davis is securing the marriage license. Done.
Got it done. He got it. Step is done.
So, now just got to do it.
Party, rehearsal dinner.
I think so.
Say those two words. I do.
Yeah, that's it.
And then, absolutely plaster for a night to remember.
There we go. I think I fixed the audio too. We'll see. We'll see.
Beauty.
Can you do me a favor? Can you check that on the YouTube while we're
I'm on right now.
All right, cool. So, anyway, obviously, Tennessee beat Alabama. I mean, everyone on this podcast called it, but it wasn't. We're not special because everyone all over the college football world was feeling it. Everyone thought Tennessee had a good team and that they could beat Alabama, but Alabama just had a lot of penalties.
Yeah, I think it was the most in school history ever, which says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they struggle with that a lot this season. It's not the first game we've seen them have those problems. We saw it with Texas too. And it just shows that the discipline is not the same that we're used to seeing Saban have his program under. It's a situation that is probably going to be gone over a lot more in practice. But this is something you can't be surprised about. Parts of this team are young. Parts of this team are new. It's going to be a really a lot. It's going to be some hurting.
I want to say Neyland Stadium had something to do with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Neyland Stadium, main reason, right?
Neyland can bump. It can bump, and you saw what they did. And when I said, all right.
Audio's good.
Yeah, if field goal goes up, they're rushing the field. I mean, no surprise at all. I mean, anytime anyone beats Bama in that caliber, field gets rushed.
And it's just a good year for Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Like, this is a great year for Tennessee. Hendon Hooker's doing an awesome job, obviously, in the Heisman talk. Now, they like to give the game away. Tennessee did that read option. It was maybe a read option, maybe a dive. Running back, I guess, thought Hendon Hooker was keeping it. I guess Hooker thought he was giving it off. And then the scoop and score by Bama there late in the game. I thought that was it. I thought there was no way Tennessee was going to have to score a touchdown with that amount of time, but they did. And I'm glad they did.
It's not like they didn't put pressure on Hendon Hooker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he came out the gates on fire. And then, of course, you saw what they can do on offense with a throwing game with Jalen Hyatt. 207, 5 touchdown catches on just 6 receptions alone.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. But you picked off Hendon Hooker, who hasn't thrown a pick since last year versus Georgia.
Right.
So, that is probably the greatest defense of all time, at least in the past 2 decades, I'd have to say, in my lifetime. That's the greatest defense we've seen. So, of course, Georgia's able to do that. And then for Alabama to force a pick against him, it said that, they were still battling that game. They were fighting. And, last week we went over these picks, and I said, if Bryce Young plays, give me Alabama to cover. If not, give me Tennessee to cover. Well, Bryce Young played. Tennessee still covered.
Yeah.
And that was honestly just a very supreme, beautiful play. It was a great performance.
It's game of the year.
It's going to win.
It's
going to win SP for game of the year.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
It's
I don't think there's something out there that will beat it unless we get some sort of crazy Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only game I see topping it.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Alabama goes down, this pod is always happy. That's just rule of thumb there. And just more on it. Tennessee fans haven't had this kind of excitement in Knoxville in ages, right? They tore down the goalpost, threw it in the river. Hopefully they'll get a new one by –
They did.
They got a new one already? Yeah, I want to do a funny skit on that, just like Tennessee calling the goalpost guys. and then the goalpost guys answering, going, Tennessee, we ain't heard from y'all since '98, or something like that. That would have been funny.
That would have been funny. No, I've rushed the field before. I tore down goalposts when Marshall won its first Conference USA championship. That was a good.
That's
time.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I was 13, and I just ran down to the field. Was part of carrying that post down the steel mill where they cut into pieces and everything.
Nice.
So.
I know my brother got to rush the field in it was '96 when FSU beat Florida the first time, because it was 1 versus 2 in '96.
The Bowden game.
Yeah, and he got a piece of grass and they tore down the goalpost there. So it's a part of college. That's one thing I love about college football. And we had 4 field stormings this week.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Also, if you're watching, just appreciate the background, guys. Like,
it's like
look at the
pink
sunset.
Marshmallow.
I'm gonna get behind the camera and
It's
kind of.
like pink marshmallows. Here, I'll give you a weather update. Behind me, we have the Pacific Ocean along that beautiful mountain skyline, following just behind the sun setting on the west coast here. First time seeing a west coast sunset like this. It's something else. It's a beauty. It's clear sky, but with just a little touch of a marshmallow here and there and here and there. Put some orange and pink to it. It's a beauty.
Pink skies mixing up with the blue. All right, I think that's the good angle. Got to share the good angles with you guys.
Yeah.
The podcast setups. It's looking good here. We were able to be very mobile, and I like that. All right, let's get into it. Last week, great games. Like I said, 4 field stormings. Utah beats USC. Speaking of California, we're here in San Diego, just an hour and a half north of us. In LA, the Trojans are losing at Utah, and good for Utah. I mean, maybe it's a home field advantage. Utah is a good football team. I knew that. I picked them to beat UCLA. That didn't turn out, but they got their win. They got their win in the Pac-12. That still puts them in the mix of things, you know?
Yep.
And now the Pac-12 is kind of jumbled. And one more thing. Cam Rising's that guy. He's a man.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback. He's done a great job at Utah this year. He was great last year, but right now Utah is the most inconsistent team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this team came in the year as a playoff dark horse, or actually a playoff contender, really. And they lost to Florida. They still played great. And you lose to Florida, you see how that turns out. That's a really bad loss right now.
It's looking bad. It's looking bad.
A really bad loss. Then you lose to UCLA, who's going to be on game day come Saturday in Eugene. And we're right on the UCLA-USC train. We're hoping for a great matchup so we can get an LA battle for game day.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, the Pac-12's got some teams. It has contenders. Like, it actually has teams in the top 25 who are playing well.
Yeah, this is the first time I've had fun watching the Pac-12 in years. I'll say years.
But what's so weird, I've never seen a team get beat down as bad as Oregon, like they did versus Georgia, and still be in the top 10.
Yeah.
That's what's really weird right now.
And that's still looking like an impressive win to me, but at the same time, it's week 1. Maybe Oregon took a couple weeks to get in the groove of things. I don't know, but that win still looks good over a period of time.
Oh, sure.
And Georgia got back on the wagon against Vanderbilt. Can't say much there, 55-0. Clemson goes into Florida State, beats Florida State 34-28. That score is a little closer than the game actually was, in my opinion. Now, Florida State started off strong. They scored first, and they had some energy. That crowd was rocking at Doak.
I mean, when there's a good season going on in Florida State, Doak rocks. Doak rocks and Doak rocks.
But there was there were some bad decisions made by Jordan Travis in the passing game, and they couldn't get it going there on offense early on. Will Shipley tore him up. He had 121 yards on the ground. They ran a bunch of end arounds with him, even some screens. So Clemson still looking good, still getting that momentum. I think Clemson's got to be either 4 or 5 in there.
Yeah.
I think I would put them at 4, but if you do put them at 5 and you put Michigan and Ohio State in there, that's basically put them at 4 because Michigan and Ohio State, they got to play.
I think, a lot of people are saying that Ohio State doesn't deserve to be ranked higher than a couple of teams right now because they say they haven't played anybody. But Ohio State's winning games the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
They're not tripping a game versus Georgia or versus Missouri, I should say. They're not losing by beating Texas by 1. They're not having these close games. They're not going to overtime with Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they're playing guys like Toledo and whatnot and Akron, but they're blowing them out the fucking water.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what they're supposed to do versus those teams.
No, I got Ohio State either number 2 or number 1 for me.
I mean, because they're winning the games the way they're supposed to. The only team I'm genuinely putting over Ohio State right now is Tennessee.
Yeah.
No one else is really saying that, but right now, Georgia, they have questions to me still, and those questions will be answered when they play Tennessee.
Yeah. I think the matchup for Georgia and Tennessee is different between the matchup between Tennessee and Alabama because Georgia's defense, I think, is better than Alabama's defense right now, especially with the on the pass. I don't see Hendon Hooker being able to throw for 500 yards or anything like that against Georgia's defense. Maybe he can. Maybe I'm wrong. It's in Athens, and we'll see. We'll definitely get to that.
That's the love about college football is that people don't expect things like that,
Mhm.
and then a quarterback really just does go out there and do that.
Yeah.
Like Trevor Lawrence when they blew out Bama, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that's like that. No one expected that coming from a freshman or whatever he was at the time, right?
Yeah, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
Michigan blew out Penn State. I was on the Penn State train. I thought Penn State was a good team. Michigan's defense won the ball game that day, and so did Donovan Edwards. Donovan Edwards on the ground. They killed him in the run game. Penn State could not stop the run early, and I think it was 16-14 or 16-15 at the halftime. Ended up being 41-17.
Yep, it did. It was a blow. I mean, and here's the thing: Penn State hasn't won a top 10 game in 10 years. They've lost 11 straight top 10 games. Some have been close, some have been blowouts. Another blowout going on there. They have to go play Ohio State here soon. That's probably going off last week. Going to be another blowout. I mean, I went over last week. They played close versus Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a top 10 team playing close to Purdue.
No. And I was listening to Brandon Walker in the Unnecessary Roughness podcast, and they were saying who's the third best team in the Big Ten, and you can't. It's kind of fluid. You don't really know. It could be Penn State. It could be Purdue. So we got to figure that. We got to figure it out, and we know who the top two teams are. We know Michigan's number 2, maybe number 1. Ohio State's number 2, maybe number 1. Other than that, we have to see it shake out, and that might have something to say towards the end of the season once we get to the playoffs, right? When we're looking at these teams' schedules, and there's a bunch of one-loss teams who are trying to get into the 14 playoff. So whose wins are more impressive? And I think you put in maybe a one-loss Pac-12 team.
Possibly. That's a question that you could see coming up, but you could also look at a 2-loss SEC team maybe again.
Right, that
because
too.
You could see Bama doing a similar maneuver of what they used to. Because I was saying the same thing about, I think I was going to be saying the same thing about Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at one point. We could see a situation that we saw back in the 2018.
Like Georgia gets in on the East,
gets in
beats Tennessee.
They win the championship.
Right.
Auburn someone snuck a win in the West, right?
Right.
And then Bama didn't make the championship, but they were still.
And that's what I'm saying. Even if Michigan beats Ohio State in the committees, say Michigan loses to Ohio State, I guess, and then they're trying to get in somehow, and the committee's looking them versus another team. Okay, Michigan played Hawaii. They played a bunch of nobodies there in the beginning. They didn't have the tough schedule that some of these other conferences did. So that is what comes to my mind whenever it comes to the big picture of the Big Ten getting into the playoff, because the top two teams are going to play each other. Ohio State and Michigan are going to play each other. What are you trying to do? Is the backlight?
Trying to get it lightened up a little bit more in here, just because we're starting to see it fall off a little more here.
That's fine. Give me we'll take a minute break. We'll take a minute break on here, and I'll get it fixed up.
Yeah, that looks way better. Yeah, but we're looking at some of the games from last week. I love the Syracuse-NC State game. NC State losing their starting quarterback for the season now. They're going to fall off really, really hard. They're not going to finish as a top 40 team, at least in my mind. You look at Mississippi State and Kentucky. That was a game where, Rob, I remember I put out a statement last week saying Kentucky, they'll go 0-4 for the month of October. That was a very that game kind of threw me off by surprise. I was like, just seeing Kentucky come out there and win that game was not expected by me at all. So when I look at that game, I'm just like, okay, Kentucky still has some pop in the East. They're still going to play a little bit of ball. Are they going to do well versus Tennessee and Georgia? No. We're going to see Kentucky and Tennessee play each other this week, and it's probably not going to be the best of wins or the best of games for Kentucky. We're going to see Levis struggle a lot. But I think that's a game where we can see some offense get to be put up.
Yeah, Nick O'Leary's gone. NC State's done. And that's who you're talking about, right? Nick
O'Leary's it was between NC State, Syracuse, and Mississippi State, Kentucky.
Yeah, and Syracuse, that's an impressive win. I don't know when O'Leary got not O'Leary. Why am I blanking on his name? Quarterback for NC State. O'Leary? Is it O'Leary? All right. That's what I thought. Yeah. All right. I was right. I don't know when he got knocked out of the game, but Syracuse 6-0 right now, and they're playing Clemson next week, and we'll get to that. But you can't just say Syracuse won this game because O'Leary's out.
It's Devin Leary.
There.
I was like, Nick O'Leary, that's a tight end.
Yeah, that's Florida State's old tight end. But because I can't not give Syracuse credit when they're sitting there 6-0 in the season, and beating teams like NC State and beating every other team in the ACC, right? So I got to give them credit.
They have arguably one of the best running backs in the country. I talk about it all the time, Sean Tucker, and Dabo went on a giant ran on him today. He's like, that guy's a true All-American. If you can't stop him, you can't stop the team as a whole. He's their leading rusher. He's their second leading receiver. He's going to catch balls out the backfield. He's going to beat you in the holes that he can find. He's a tough guy. This is a kid we're going to see go first, second round, most definitely, to the NFL. He just puts up numbers, and he always does well. And he's a leader. He's a leader off the field, on the field, and even in the social media presence. He is speaking the truth. He's a leader. I
got to say, I'm guilty. I haven't been paying much attention to Syracuse because I thought at some point they would get a loss. But we're sitting here 6-0 Syracuse, 6-0 Clemson, and so I got to do some more research and look up this Sean Tucker character. Mad respect out to you, man, and the Syracuse Orange for being undefeated. With Kentucky and Mississippi State, you broke my heart. Brandon Walker was right. I should have trusted him, being a longtime Mississippi State fan. Looks like you lost that game. That your favorite to win there. You should win that game.
You should.
You should really win that game. I hate Kentucky this year.
There's just no reason why you're losing an undefeated season to Kentucky like that.
No, and you're playing. You got Alabama coming up, and here's the thing: you might beat Alabama. The way that you shouldn't beat LSU like you did, or lose to LSU like you did, and then lose to Kentucky like you do, and then go and beat teams like you did Arkansas and like you're doing. It's mad inconsistent. I'm not a fan, but. Good job, Kentucky, I guess. I don't know. Oklahoma gets a win over Kansas. I thought Kansas was going to win.
That was a good game for Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's a good game for Oklahoma.
I was really surprised about it.
Dylan Gabriel made a comeback there. So,
yeah.
So good job, Dylan Gabriel, getting back in the game and putting up some points, 52-42. So it was a push. I think it was -10. I think at one point it was like -9 for Oklahoma, for Oklahoma. So
no, I thought Kansas was favored.
They might have been. I don't know. I think some.
We had just a stupid amount of college football that was just great last week.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're missing one. Hold on. Yeah, you're missing this one right here.
Big one.
This one was going on right at the same time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alabama, Tennessee went to double overtime. The over/under was in question, and it was hit because of the double overtime. Oklahoma State, TCU. That was a ball game. That was just purely a great game.
Oh, look at that giant mosquito, dude. Oh, that's what's biting us. That was a monster mosquito just come on the On the screen.
Oklahoma State and TCU, double overtime. Spencer Sanders balling out. This game was a statement game for TCU. When I say Kyle Duggar is a quarterback.
Yeah. Max Duggan.
Max Duggan. Is it Max Duggan?
It's Max Duggan.
It's Max Duggan, yeah.
I can't play it like you.
No, Max Duggan, he's a great quarterback for TCU. He reminds you a little bit of Josh Allen. He's going to beat you throwing the ball, but he's also got the ability to just step out of the pocket, run through a guy or two, and get the first down. He showed a lot of versatility, but then again, he does still play in the Big 12. And that's just questions and questions again. Big 12 football, Big 12 football, Big 12 football. It's not always going to be the same as what we see come out of the SEC. But overall, it's always going to be fun, exciting football, and it paid off right there.
Little inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like Texas here with that near miss to Iowa State. And I'll tell you, Iowa State should have won this game. They had a missed targeting call on that fumble. That would have given Iowa State – I can't remember if it would have given them the ball or it would have given a first down on the ball or something, and they would have won the ball game, basically. Texas would have been talking about another loss on schedule with Quentin Ewers as quarterback. So that puts in question them going into Oklahoma State next week.
Yep.
That's a big game. That's a huge game for Texas. It would have been an even bigger game for Oklahoma State if they could have maintained that undefeated season against TCU. They dropped it.
And we see another great game, a top 25 loss. Their first time in the top 25 playing as a ranked team ever in school history. They've only played 5 games going to last week, and they lost their first ever ranked game. James Madison losing to Georgia Southern, 45-38. You hate to see that.
Dropped an undefeated season, too. A lot of teams dropped their undefeated records this week.
Yeah.
Last week.
We saw Bama did it. Penn State did it.
James Madison
did it.
Oklahoma State.
Wait, is NC State? NC State wasn't undefeated.
No, Oklahoma State did, though.
Oklahoma State did.
Ole Miss still undefeated. They beat Auburn 48-34, and Auburn got things running on the ground. Tank Bigsby had a couple big runs there. He ran for 179 yards. I'm stuttering like a motherfucker.
We're also been up by mosquitoes right now.
These mosquitoes got me flustered, dude.
We're so out of our element. We're out of our time zone. We're out of our element. We're outside. It's like dark, but it's light. I'm getting blinded by this light right
Dude,
here.
I'm telling you, these skeeters are undefeated right now.
We should be used
Team
to them.
Skeeter.
We're from Florida.
No, these fuckers are big, dude. These are some big ass skeeters out here.
I hate your ukulele playing. I swear.
Yeah, well, I'm not good. All right, Arkansas beat BYU 52-35. Who cares?
Let's hit this game that we know we want to talk about.
Yeah, LSU, Florida. Man, I saw glimpses of.
I don't get the guy, man. I just don't get him. Like
Yeah.
I don't get him. 80-yard touchdown run. People say it was a holding call on that. I'm like, shut up.
There's holding calls
when
every play.
I say there's a holding call, I was like, that's it.
Holding
That
call
was
every
it.
play.
I
Holding
was
call
like,
every
that's
play
it.
football.
And then he throws an absolute 55, like a 50 or 50.
Yeah, to open the game.
Yeah.
Not open the
Dime.
game. The first
Dime.
drive. Yeah.
Dime. The kid is so confusing. Like his flashes are unreal, but when the lights are off, the lights are off.
Here's the thing. I think the offense did great. I don't have any complaints about the Florida offense this time around. While I was watching the game and being a Florida fan, I was mad at some of the play calls and how they ran it. Are you just gonna try and appreciate the sunset?
Like it's just like there's like it looks like there's a sky out there.
This is awesome. This is like when they zoomed in during the Tennessee game and when Alabama was winning, they were like, it's a Tennessee orange sunset. And you just kind of knew Tennessee was going to come back and win that game. Do you remember that in the broadcast when they were showing the sun? I was like, that is a Tennessee orange sunset if I've ever seen one.
But this is just, I mean, you see the sky way out there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it looks good spot.
It was a great spot. Yeah, it's 5-star Airbnb.
5-star Airbnb.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll have to post this. We'll have to post the Airbnb.
Yeah.
You should send them the podcast. Anyway, who are we at? Yeah, Florida. So, yeah, I'm not going to complain about the offense. I thought maybe being a little bit too conservative on the play calling, but I like our running back. We got Montrell Johnson, dude.
We have probably a top.
He's a beast.
We have a top 15 duo in the country.
That's my thing. That's why I'm like, I get mad at Richardson for not keeping the ball, but knowing he might be dealing with some injuries and we want to keep him healthy.
We still have 2 really good running backs.
We have 3 or 4 good running backs. That's my thing. Lorenzo Lingard is supposedly a 5-star running back.
So what? Are we like the Philadelphia Eagles of college football? Right
No,
now?
because we lose. I don't know. We lose. My main qualm with Florida was the defense. Could not stop
Jack
we couldn't stop a
Yeah,
high school
yeah.
football team right now.
Yeah,
The way the defense is playing, they could not stop the pass. Jaden Daniels, not a world beater. He's semi-mobile. Let him run on you. You let him pass on you. The defense needs to be fixed, and I think the defense problems go back to last year and Todd Grantham, and we're still giving up those 3rd and longs.
Yeah.
We gave up like a 3rd and 18. We gave up like a 3rd and 22. And then I think we gave up like a 3rd and 15 also. So the defense has to be fixed, and they know it. That's what the issue is. So, yeah, congratulations, LSU. Hate you. I hate LSU so much. Hope we beat LSU in Death Valley next year. We're just checking these other games to see if there's anything else.
What's Liberty's record?
Liberty, I think they lost 1 game,
Okay, hold on.
maybe 2.
They were 6-1, and
6
they
and
beat Gardner-Webb by 1 point.
Yeah,
They beat Gardner-Webb by 1 point.
I've never even heard of that team. I'm not even.
It's a team that Marshall plays as a confidence game. We beat Gardner-Webb this year 49-7.
Yeah, no, that's not a team
No,
you
we
should
didn't.
be.
That's an exaggeration.
It's not a team you
like,
should be.
We'd be like 28-7 or like 35-7, something like that.
It's not a team you should be beating by 1
One.
point. Yeah, no. All right, so it's Thursday night when we're here recording. It's Thursday night live for the podcast. We got UVA and Georgia Tech playing. I hope Georgia Tech beats them. And we got Troy in South Alabama. That's from our neck of the woods, near Mobile, Alabama, or in Mobile, Alabama.
No one out here cares except for when they almost beat UCLA.
Yeah, no one cares. But I think Troy should win that game. I think they were up 7-3 last time we checked. Tomorrow we got Tulsa, Temple, UAB, and Western Kentucky. Hope Austin Reed gets UAB. UAB's got a good football program.
I mean, Austin, he's seeing the toughness of Conference USA. Lost to UTSA. Yeah, that's a game where you can't be surprised to lose. I mean, they've been that team. We talked about it before.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
Yep. All right.
I'm excited for another. There's some good games.
Some good games this week, too. This is the best college football season in my recent memory.
For diversity of wins.
Yeah, different teams are being good.
There has to be at least a Bama loss.
Yeah.
We had the Bama loss last week. There has to be some random ass team, which we have Tennessee.
UCLA's random team. They're coming out of nowhere.
UCLA is a random ass team. Ole Miss is the random ass team. TCU is not so random because they were here like 8 years ago. Clemson's back. We see, who am I missing? Ohio State's just where they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you have your normal in Georgia and Ohio State. You got some random fucks just back over here, and you got some comebackers over here to
I would say Syracuse random team because they're undefeated.
No shit. But the thing is, what pisses me off is that this game should be where game day is.
Yeah.
But they're not giving Syracuse respect, so they're ranked 16th or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Come on.
Looks like we got them 14th. But where are they going? Texas, Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
Where's game day going?
Oh, UCLA and Oregon.
Okay. Well, that makes sense too. All right. Anyway, Ohio State and Iowa. Ohio State's going to win this ball game. I think the spread was too much for my liking. Spread is minus 30 now. It moved to minus 30 since last time I saw it. I don't think I would take that. That's just a lot of points, but I'm confident Ohio State can score 30 points greater than Iowa. I think I would.
With that shitty offense?
Yeah, if I had to, I would say. But, Iowa's always got that defense. Tennessee plays UT Martin. Who cares?
Tennessee's on these, hot sugar games. They go play Tennessee Martin, which is okay, cool. And then they go play Kentucky and then Georgia. So, it's something that you see. It's just okay. You go do whatever. Chill out after a big win.
So here, this Syracuse Clemson game, the spread kind of perplexes me because I do think Syracuse their undefeated season's coming to an end this week. I think it is.
I'm just not. I agree. I don't want it to happen. If Clemson's front seven locks down, it's over.
Mhm.
Syracuse, I don't think they have the greatest of passing. And just thinking about, I mean, Schrader, he's done okay. 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 1,400 yards, and he's sitting at around 67% completion percentage. So, which is nowhere compared to DJ, but I mean, DJ's having a great. I mean,
He's just having a good year.
He's having a good year. I mean, everyone hated all season long.
Yeah.
And he's just showing that Clemson's good and they're back. And so I'm curious to see what Sean Tucker's going to do there.
I'm gonna lock this one in. I just have a feeling that Clemson covers it, so I'm gonna lock in the Clemson cover.
What is it? 13?
13.5. You know, and I could easily see Syracuse giving them a tough time. Syracuse tends to give Clemson a tough time even when they're not undefeated, honestly. But it's at Clemson. I think Clemson's rolling with it, and they're going to be ready for this game. It's an undefeated game.
Give me Syracuse to cover.
Syracuse cover? Yeah, that's fine. So
wait, give me the ukulele. We'll use that as our lock sound.
Oh, the locks?
Yeah,
there you go. You can lock it up.
Lock sound. I don't know. How should I make this go?
Ukulele. Dun, dun. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna let you do the locks thing because I don't have the have the
we don't have
talent.
the Kentucky Who. We don't have the
I have it. I just got it.
It's
yeah, it's all right. Going through this game, Cincinnati, SMU. I don't really care about that. Give me Cincinnati in a close one. Kansas at Baylor. I believe I saw the spread on this one, and Baylor was favorite. Give me Kansas. Give me Kansas. Come back. All right.
Locking that in.
I don't know what other games are going on. No, I'm not gonna lock that in because I'm gonna save my big locks I'm gonna save the locks for the big games this week. Since we're doing a live pod. I'm not seeing too many games I'm interested in the early slots until we get down to Notre Dame and UNLV. I think UNLV is going to get Notre Dame, dude.
I think you're drunk.
Dude, no, it's not going to happen. All right. Ole Miss at LSU.
Oh, shit. I just saw who Marshall's playing.
Marshall's playing James Madison. All right. Well, James Madison coming off that loss, they might be headhunting Marshall.
Ukulele.
Sorry. I mean, y'all could
we could win. We just looked like okay. Ever since I don't know if you know the story. We fired we had to let go of our offensive line coach.
You beat Notre Dame this year.
We beat Notre Dame, and then we let go of our offensive line coach literally the week after.
Why'd you do that?
There was some shit that happened.
All right.
And that's like the reason why we won that game was because our offensive line baby Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Lost your offensive line coach. They can't block. They can't create holes. I mean, Laybourne's still a top 10 running back in the country right now, but the offense is nothing. Right now, from what I hear, is that the wide receivers want Columbi out at the quarterback spot. They want Fancher in. So
you got me curious on this spread here. It looks like James Madison minus 12.5. Give me Marshall on that one, dude.
Give me the fucking herd to cover.
Yeah,
I'm locking that in.
Lock it in. Yuka lock.
Yuka lock.
All right. Mississippi State at Alabama, dude. This one I went back and forth on. Did I skip some?
I mean, yeah, it's sporadical.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about Mississippi State, Alabama. You know what?
It's in BDS.
Yeah. It's at Alabama. Alabama's coming off a loss, so they're going to need to get after it. But minus 21 is too much for me because if anyone can throw on Alabama defense,
it's Will Rogers.
It's Will Rogers, and it's Mike Leach's air raid offense. So give me Mississippi State to cover. I'm going to lock it in. There you go. Now I'm going to lock that one in because Mississippi State disappointed me last week. Y'all were supposed to be national champions. You're supposed to be national champions after week 3. I knew it, but it's not going to happen.
It's like a deep orange.
It's beautiful. I'm seeing it. This is just breathtaking views here, folks. You can't the camera doesn't do it justice, honestly.
Holy shit!
One game to look out for here: Texas A&M and South Carolina, and UCF and ECU. Someone text.
Cardinals have back-to-back pick sixes.
Cardinals back-to-back pick sixes. Whoever's got Cardinals D on fantasy.
No, like so. Someone was complaining in my fantasy group chat. They're like, "I regret playing Cardinals defense," and then they're like, "I don't regret it anymore."
No. TCU's got Kansas State coming to town. So, tough matchup there for TCU, maybe. I got TCU winning. I'm not going to lock this one in, but the spread is going to be
Kansas State. It's been so quiet about them.
They're 5-1 because they did lose a game they weren't supposed to lose. I forgot who it was against, but -3.5. Yeah, give me TCU if I'm going to have to put in a parlay or something. I'd take TCU in that.
No, I mean I agree with you there.
Yeah,
Your defense having back-to-back pick sixes at halftime.
that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, was it Taysom Hill throwing it or was it Andy Dalton?
I think it's Andy.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll go back to the middle of the day. Ole Miss at LSU. LSU coming off that stupid win against the Gators in Swamp. Ole Miss is undefeated here. I got a sneaky feeling about LSU that they're getting better, but give me Ole Miss.
Yeah, give me Ole Miss as well.
Give me Ole Miss here.
I don't like LSU in this one. It's in Tiger Stadium, and they're noon games. They usually wait.
It's gonna be 2:30. We're in
California, so my whole time scale's thrown through the roof right
it's
now.
crazy. We got some 9 a.m. games on
like, I was like, "Whoa, wait, that doesn't seem right." CBS having a 12:30 game, that doesn't make sense.
Dude, the London games are like 5 a.m. here. Just thought about that. The NFL London games.
Yeah,
that's weird. All right, anyway. Moving on. Do you got anything else to say about Ole Miss, LSU? Let's look at the spread. Let's look at the spread.
Just pull it up real quick for me.
Oh, shit.
You know, Ole Miss, it's been weird. They haven't really played anybody.
No, they did have that good win against Kentucky, but to me, -2.5 LSU. Okay.
That's literally okay. So you know how Vegas does things, right?
Yeah, it's the home field advantage.
They always give 4 points because of home field.
Right.
That's always how it is.
I mean, I guess that's saying if it was in a neutral site, Ole Miss would win. Yeah, I still say give me Ole Miss plus 2.5.
I say give me Ole Miss. I mean, Kiffin does good in stadiums.
Like, he does.
I mean, he does good in those types of stadiums.
He's hated. He is hated.
No, he's hated, but I mean, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Do you think he stays at Ole Miss after this season, or do you think he's gone? He's been kind of putting some stuff out there on Twitter.
I mean, he's a
tweeter.
He's the best coach when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing: where else is there to go? Like,
some people are saying Auburn. Might go to Auburn.
Why?
I don't get. I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing that doesn't make sense about that. You hire coaches in the to go to the SEC from coordinator spots at big schools, or doing really good in coaching positions at other smaller schools like a Pac-12 or an ACC. Why would you literally jump ship to your neighbor's house to go take a step down in the division?
I don't know.
You've built a program that's been very hard to build a program at. I mean, we don't know the last time Ole Miss was doing this well. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
We haven't seen this in a long time. So he's built a program. I think he's their first ever 10-win coach, right? So thinking just about all these accolades he's already hit, why leave it when you're already at the top spot, which is the SEC?
They get 10 wins when Eli Manning was there?
I believe not.
No?
I don't believe
what about Bo? What's his name? Chad. The guy who beat Alabama.
Chad Kelly. No,
Chad Kelly?
They didn't get it. I mean,
wow.
Because they felt like they beat Bama and they lost to Florida the next week after.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, moving forward, we got 2 more games here to pick that I'm caring about, really.
I see what you mean. Boston College, Wake Forest.
Yeah, Boston College, Wake Forest. I got Wake Forest all day. I got Boston College with the upside.
Oh, no. You were referring to Western Michigan, Miami, Ohio.
Yeah. I was actually talking about Purdue and Wisconsin.
Oh.
Wisconsin's bad this year, man.
So you're not about Vanderbilt, Missouri?
No, Wisconsin's ass this year. Absolutely ass. I mean, I'd rather watch the Marshall James Madison game.
That's good football.
Sunbelt's
fun, though, all right, man?
Yeah,
That's fun football.
It's fun. No, but in all reality, Texas at Oklahoma State, still excited for this game, even though Oklahoma State is not undefeated. Because, like, TCU still – see, the TCU-Kansas game would be very lackluster. TCU came in there with a loss. This game is still exciting. With the 1-loss Oklahoma State team and with the 2-loss Texas team, should have been 3-loss Texas team. I don't know. Let's look at the spread. It's 2:30 on ABC. This is the is this the no, Bedlam is Oklahoma State. What rivalry name is this? Oh, Texas is favored +6 at Oklahoma State.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Nope.
I don't like it at all.
Give me Oklahoma State -6.
Yeah, locked it. Yeah, give me Oklahoma State -6 as well. I'm gonna lock it in. I'm a man on 40. Coming off a loss like
I
that.
think that's my third one.
Yeah. I think that is your third. That's my
I
second.
threw a Marshall. I did that one, and then we did one together.
We'll give you an honorary lock.
We went opposite ways of each other. Oh, Syracuse comes.
We did the Syracuse Clemson, yeah. And then I did Alabama. So, oh no, then that was my 3. We'll get a 4th lock here. We'll throw
Oregon,
the 4th lock.
Yeah.
Get College Football Extravaganza Game of the Week and College Football Game Day Game of the Week. UCLA goes to Eugene, Oregon to play the Fighting Bo Nix. And interesting storyline with Chip Kelly going into his old home and trying to take away a pretty good season that Oregon's building up after that opening loss against
I still
Georgia.
find it funny that Mario Cristobal left for Oregon. I mean, it's just
And doing shitty at Miami.
that's what I'm saying.
He's doing terrible. in Miami.
On ESPN, I always just dogged on that.
But
I
here's
was
the
like-
thing.
I was
Everyone
like,
bought into the hype about Mario Cristobal in Miami because they started recruiting well and everything. I was so on that board.
I'm like, here's the thing. You're in the era of the NIL, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you think, all right, you think with the ACC, you think if you were to give one school money in the ACC and they would have the most success, it'd be Miami
Yeah.
because of their location and what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
But Oregon has the best facilities in the country. You
Coolest
know
uniforms.
you know they have money. You know what they
I think
can
a fucking
do.
mosquito crawled up my
Hang in there,
ass,
cowboy.
dude.
They have the best facilities out there. So for Mario Cristobal to leave there, just go to the other side of the country and play like shit, I mean, that's on him, man.
Yeah.
But tidbit on this game, Oregon does have the 3rd longest active home winning streak in FBS right now.
Oh, they're fighting to preserve that then. And their favorite -6.5. Oh, man, I don't know. If I had to lock anything here, I'd lock the over. The over-under is at 70.5. I would lock the over. If I have to pick and go with what my gut's telling me, I'd go Oregon. But I don't trust my gut at this point because I picked against UCLA twice now, and they've proved me wrong both times.
Numbers don't lie on those streaks, man.
No.
I lost an 8-leg parlay in college baseball because VCU beat number 10 North Carolina when they had a 17-game winning streak. And it eats me alive to this day because I almost turned $10 to $1,500.
It sucks. It happens. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up a little early because we're gonna go have some fun. It's wedding weekend here in Escondido, California. Thanks for tuning in. If you tuned into College Football Extravaganza, go follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at CFBE Extravaganza, at College Football Extravaganza. Give a like and subscribe on the YouTube channel too. Adios. All you podcast listeners.